Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So for today we are doing this look right here. It's just a very pretty and pink kind of look, very soft and feminine, and kind of getting us ready for the spring to come, getting us out of this super frost that we are in right now. So if you want to see how I got this look, just keep watching. The first thing I have on my face is the Glamglow Gravity Mud. This is just something that I do, I don't know, when I'm feeling a little extra bougie, want to make sure that it comes out really nice. I did my brows already. I do have a brow tutorial on my channel already, so I'll link that down below, but we're just gonna skip that. The first thing I'm gonna put on is this little doodad. It's basically like a shadow shield, but it's the bootleg version I got from Wish. So I'm gonna cut that in half, remove the little backing of just the top, and place that right there. That is going to catch any fallout, and it's going to give us a nice sharp edge at the end. Then I'm going to apply some of this Revolution Pro Camouflage Concealer on my eyes, and I'm going to use that as a primer. But I just want to use a little bit so that it's not too wet. These are the new eyeshadow palettes from Makeup Geek. This one is Peach Bellini, and this one is Champagne and Rosé. So this is going to be the one that we use today. Starting off with the shade Rosé, it's just this really pretty kind of warm medium tone pink. And I'm going to go in, you know what, let's use the Palladium Tool 785. Very kind of fluffy brush. So I'm going to start this on the outer corner and just start working my way towards the inner corner. And I'm building up the color slowly so that it's easier to blend it out. I will say these shadows have a little bit of kickback in the pan. I don't know if you could see that, like all the powder there. I don't know if that comes through. That doesn't bother me, but I know that it does bother a lot of people. So if that's something that bothers you, that is there. Next, I'm going in with another Palladium Tools, and this is 776. And I'm gonna go in the shade Berries right here. It's kind of just like a really pretty raspberry. So I'm gonna work this color into my crease, but a little tighter, not as widespread as we did with Rosé. I want to work that into this little outer corner. Even though this is kind of like a bold look, you do still want it to have kind of like this calm and soft feel. So as you can tell, I'm not applying any more pigment on the brush. I'm just using whatever's left on it to kind of work that into the inner corner. Very gentle again, so we don't lose that nice softness. Now going back with the 785, I'm just going to go ahead and make sure those edges are blended. Now I picked up the teeniest amount of rosé, and I'm going to add a little more. These are very similar to my wedding colors, so I'm so in love with this. And then I'm going to go in with a small amount right here with berries, just to make sure that that looks nice and blended together. And then using this Palladium Tools 936 brush, I guess I just love their brushes, guys. But this one is so bomb for cut creases. So I'm gonna grab some concealer, and by putting concealer on both sides, I'm really helping to shape the brush so that it's a nice razor's edge. So I'm going to cut almost all the way back. So after we carved out our crease, I'm going to use the concealer left on the brush on the lid. And then using a clean flat brush, I'm going to blend out the concealer on this outer corner. Most of this will be covered by eyeliner, but just in case, you want to make sure it's pretty smooth. And especially if you're not going to wear eyeliner, you want to smooth this out. And then after that, I use the same brush again that's like pretty clean, and I go over the whole thing just dabbing to pick up any excess. You don't want there to be too much concealer because then your eyeshadow will just get muddy. I'm going to use these two shades right here, so Bubbly and Champagne. So Bubbly is going to be on the inner third of my eye, and then Champagne, which is a little rosier but very similar, is going to be in the center of my eye. And I'm just going to use this very flat, kind of stiff shader brush. And then now we're going to apply Champagne with the same brush in the center. So my camera decided to stop recording. Basically, all I did, obviously, as you can tell, I removed the shadow shields and the Glamglow mask, and I cleaned up the concealer underneath my eye. But all I did is after I finished applying that center shade of champagne, I added more berries in the corner to like deepen it up a little. And then whatever was left on my brush from applying champagne, I just kind of swept over the edge to just give it a little bit more of a diffusion. For liner, I'm using this Get In Line liquid eyeliner from Colourpop. Woo! Covergirl. I'm using it because it's really matte, like you guys are going to see. It does have a felt tip applicator. Not my favorite. I wish it was a brush tip, but it is a fantastic liner. So after we basically outlined how we want our liner, we're going to fill it in. The reason I don't like felt tip is because brush tip bounces back really easily. So if I move the brush, it's like shoot back to straight. But with felt tip, it like stays a little crooked. So it kind of sucks because I have to keep like turning it to straighten it out. And then we're going to do the inner corner. We're just going to add the tiniest of cute little points. And make sure to get that inner waterline when you look up and you have that bareness there. You want to get that too. So I already went ahead and applied mascara. I just applied the Better Than Sex Too Faced mascara. It's the one I always use, but just use something that's black. Anything you have honestly is fine. And then for lashes, I'm using these Dame Boss lashes in the style Blessed. I love them because they're light and wispy. So remember this squeezy tube from my haul from LA? So now I have that with my Sassy Lash Glue. So as always, I set it in the center and then I adjust the corners and then I tighten my lashes and the falsies together. Moving on to our face, I'm going to spritz my face with this Smashbox. Is anything coming out here? Come on. With the Smashbox primer water. For foundation, I'm using the LA Girl Pro Coverage HD Long Wear Illuminating Foundation in the shade Nude Beige. This is honestly one of my favorite foundations. As much as I do have oily skin, you would think I would want a matte foundation, but I actually do prefer a dewy finish. And this one just has the most gorgeous finish. It has gorgeous coverage, as you'll see. Oh guys, and I totally lied about this blue beauty blender in my haul video. I said that there was nothing different. So after I compared it to the black one, it's actually a lot softer and like squishier. For concealer, I'm using the new Haley's Revive Concealer Cream in the shade Medium Warm. As you guys know, I love Haley's and they just came out with this concealer. And I tried it yesterday and I loved it, so I definitely had to show it to you guys again. It's so creamy. Like even now putting it on, it just feels hydrating. I'm not going to worry about bringing this up too high underneath my eye, except for in this inner corner, because we are going to smoke out the lower lash line. Look how like healthy and hydrated. I can't get enough. So to set my under eye, because I don't want to lose any of this dewiness, I'm going to go in with the Besame Cosmetics Pearl Shimmer Shell Compact. And again, this is something I mentioned in my last haul. I got it because of this exact reason. I wanted something that I could set my face with that wouldn't totally get rid of the luminosity. And I feel like this definitely did that. I mean, it's a powder, so I obviously lost a little bit, but not a ton. I'm still very bright and very dewy. Okay, before we go on with the rest of the face, I just want to go ahead and finish up the eyes. The first thing I'm going to do is take a very sharp angled brush. In this case, I'm using the Anastasia number 7 brush. It's usually for something like brows. And I'm going to take a little bit of berries, and we're going to create a little bit of like a second wing. Just like that. I don't want it to go too far out because I don't want it to be very dramatic. Again, I do want this to be a very soft look, but just kind of have that very like flirtatious flick. And then using a pencil brush, and this one is the Millennium Tool 781, I'm going to go in with that same berry shade that we just did the flick. And now I'm going to go ahead and smoke out the lower lash line and a little bit into that little flick. And I'm not going to take this shade all the way in because I am going to use a different shade afterwards, and then we're going to highlight that inner corner. Now I'm going to use that same 776 brush from earlier, and I'm going to pick up some of that shade Rosé, the lighter pink shade, and just kind of blend out underneath that. And then that color I am going to take further in. And then using whatever is left on this angled brush, which is what I used to clean up my brows, so it's like a little bit of concealer and foundation, I'm just going to clean up on the inside of that edge to make this very sharp. Now I'm going to apply my favorite eyeliner. It's the Essence Extreme Lasting Waterproof in Black Love. And then I'm applying some Too Faced Better Than Sex on the bottom. Moving on to bronzer, I'm going to use the new Wet n Wild Color Icon Bronzer in What Shady Beaches. And to apply that, I'm going to use the Morphe M530. I love this brush. I feel like I get very precise movement. And this bronzer is a little bit dark, so I'm going to start with a little bit, especially since this is the first time I use it. So I like it for bronzing the face, but it might be a little too warm to contour. So I'm using whatever's left on my brush to do my nose. For blush, I'm using this Pixi Glowcake in the shade Pink Champagne Glow. And I'm going to use this really kind of cool neutral tone pink in the middle. And I'm going to apply that with my Morphe E4 brush. This is like my favorite brush for blush. And then for highlight, I'm using the Dose of Color with I Love Sarahii collaboration, and this is in the shade Bathe. And I'm actually using this Wet n Wild blending brush to highlight, but I like it because it's very small and very precise so that the highlighter doesn't get out of control. This is just a very pretty kind of neutral pink champagne color. I'm going to highlight above my brows and a little bit between my eyes. So I actually don't do my nose anymore, the tip of my nose, because I noticed that it was very cute, but it was making my nose look longer. Then I'm going to highlight my Cupid's bow, a little bit of the edge of my lip, and then with whatever's left on my brush, I'm going to do my chin. But again, I'm just doing the top half of my chin, not from here down, because I don't want to look too chinny. For lips, I'm going to wear the Ultra Matte Lip from Colourpop in the shade Midi. Again, this is just a very pretty neutral pink. And then something that I forgot to do, but is very necessary for this look, is to use this e.l.f. Cosmetics, I don't even know what this is, defining eye brush. And we're going to put a little bit of highlighter in that inner corner. And then to finish this look off, I'm going to use the Gerard Cosmetics Mystified Hydrating Facial Mist. This one is just a more hydrating version of their normal Slay All Day one. I just wish it sprayed a little more gentle. It like showers you. It's like turning on a hose. And that completes this look, guys. So as you can tell, definitely much easier than it looks. Super flirty, very girly, very soft, but at the same time, very bold. So it's the happy little middle ground for everything. So definitely leave your thoughts in the comments below. And if you haven't already, subscribe to my channel and give this video a big thumbs up. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!